Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today is just a little bit different of a video. I actually have my husband Brian helping me out with this video. I'm kind of wanting him to do a entire video with me. He does not like talking on camera, but you are going to see some fun bits in real life and how we work together. And this is a $5 yard sale makeover, and I am so excited with the way it turned out afterwards, you guys. Let's get into this super fun video. So here is the piece we're going to be making over. This was $5 from a yard sale last year, and it has been sitting in the garage, well, for almost an entire year. So the people who previously had this, they did paint it. They did a terrible job. They did not do the entire thing, and then it looks like they kind of tried to start sanding it down to redo it. Anyways, it was just a piece that was unfinished, and you know what? Sometimes when I can find huge items like this for $5, I have to grab it. So the first thing I did was take the doors off, and we just have a Ryobi drill, and we absolutely love this thing. We've had this for quite a while, and when my husband says that he loves a tool, then that's when you know it's a pretty decent one, because he's very picky on tools. So the first thing I did was just take off the doors. So this video, it's going to be a lot of back and forth, I want to say. So the first thing I did was start sanding everything down. This top was wore down, and there was a ton of paint spills and paint drips all over. So I did end up wanting to sand everything down because I didn't want to start painting. And I feel like when you just sand partially and not everything, it kind of ends up looking bumpy and rough, and you can kind of see underneath. So we end up actually, I want to say almost stripping this down to completely nothing, but you gotta do what you gotta do. These shelves are not going back on. I actually just wanted the inside to be kind of plain. I wanted to use this as a TV stand in our bedroom. We have one, it's just not that big, and it's yellow, and I don't really want to hear my husband talk about how many times he does not like that ugly yellow TV stand in the bedroom. It's been there for probably 8 years. So I'm sure he'll be really excited when this is all finished. And in our room. It is finished, obviously. That's why we're doing the video. But when it gets in our room, it'll be even better. And then I'm just taking all the hardware off, and make sure you keep it together because you will need it later on if you're going to use the same exact hardware, which I did. You saw I started putting screws in a pile, and yeah, always use a bag. Oh, damn. Oh, you good?
Yep. Good thing I put safety glasses on.
Yeah, did it go up?
Yeah.
I had to give Bri the real tedious, hard work that, one, I either did not want to do, or two, I could not do. I wanted to take the glass out of this first door. In the second door, it had the door completely together, no glass because of those shelves behind it, but I wanted him to cut out, he uses a jigsaw to cut out the centers, so the two doors will be kind of the same. One door is larger than the other because of the way it was made, obviously, but yeah, so he did a really great job with this. I cannot use a jigsaw to save my life. They're super hard, and I just don't think that, one, I'm patient enough to actually use it. So we'll just leave it at that. I am very impatient, and I will push that button down as hard as I can, and that thing goes flying. So while he was doing that, I ended up going back and sanding some more because I wanted to get as much paint off as possible. And then I'm using just this Bosch sander. I really like this one, and I always link it in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. But I love it because it has so many different settings on it, 1 through 6. So it will go really slow up to super fast. And you know that I'm doing this super fast. And when your arm gets tired or you don't want to sand anymore, you have your husband come in the mix. So his name's Brian. I always call him Bri. He's kind of, you know, new to the video world. If you guys like this video, maybe I can talk him into doing more with me. But he's sanding the doors down, and then here I am in my zone, kind of just, you know, on my phone, texting, looking on Instagram probably. Who really knows what I'm doing here? But I'm not working.
I know, look how good I am.
Look how good I am. I'm just holding
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just trying to stuff. Are we gonna like sand together?
We are.
You know that song? What? So we actually ended up getting a Dremel tool out. I know what it is. I know what it's called. It's one of those two. Dremel. I guess however you decide to pronounce it. I went back to sanding the original way, but that little box I was holding has that tool with all sorts of attachments and things like that. So I could not obviously sand the tiny spots. So that's what Bri did. He ended up grabbing this Dremel tool with the sanding attachment to it. Maybe it comes with a sanding attachment. That I'm not sure of, but that's what he was using, and he's going to show you a close-up right here. Do that again. That was really funny. Get down there and smile. It was hilarious. Okay. This tool I do not love as much because I will tell you, when I was watching him do it, I know I would mess up and ding things, and then I wouldn't be able to fix whatever I messed up on. So that was definitely something that he liked doing, and it's like one of his new fun tools. So of course, if you are married or you have a boyfriend or a dad or somebody, you know that men love tools. Was the best part because Brad just took our air compressor and cleaned it up really nicely. I did end up going back in with some all-purpose cleaner just to get everything off that didn't, but honestly, to get all this messy paint, there was so much of this like blue colored paint all over our driveway. But yeah, that was actually really nice that he did that because it just made everything go a little bit quicker.
Tip it like that, hold it like that.
Good?
Yep. Okay. Ready, rock and roll?
Yeah. Chalk paint. Right. So you saw there that I am using the Rust-Oleum chalk paint. I picked it up at Menards. You can get it at Lowe's, Walmart, I think, as well. I'm using a paint sprayer, and I will try to link this one in the description box below as well. But this is the first time I ever used it, so I did not do a full tutorial. I was literally figuring out how to work it. Chalk paint is probably not the best thing to put in here because it was kind of clumping up and getting plugged, and I really wasn't sure how much I needed to thin down. I put a little bit of water in there, and it did seem to work out really well. But if you're going to have a big giant project like this, definitely get a spray tent like I have and a paint sprayer. It did make everything go a little bit faster. So I am using caulk here. This caulk just came from Dollar Tree, but I think it works just as good as any other caulk. So there was a lot of holes right here where the glass was, so I did want to cover these up as best as I possibly could because there was just such large holes. I just did not like the way that looked at all. You're going to see here that I did not use the paint sprayer to do the doors. I thought there was just so much paint that was being wasted when I was trying to do the doors that I figured that I would just come in and roll it. No big deal. Honestly, for this project, I used a whole quart of paint the entire thing. I was scraping edges at the end because I was running low on paint. And you know that even if you use white chalk paint, all the color whites are always just a shade different. Okay, so now I'm finally going to seal this. Some parts did not turn out probably the way I wanted them to, because since this was like MDF board or some cheap something, we did sand it all the way down just because the previous people who painted this, there was so many drips and like it just wasn't possible to just like not sand. So now I'm using another new thing. I've actually had this for a long time, but it is the Easy Peasy Wax Clear Matte Spray Wax, and this is by Dixie Belle. I've had this for a long time, and all you're supposed to do is spray your piece, wait for it to dry. I think it takes 30 minutes to dry, 6 hours to cure, and you just spray it, and then you wipe it down with a clean, like a clean cloth. And this was really easy to use too, this Easy Peasy Spray Wax by Dixie Belle. I would definitely use this again, although I just really do like my Rust-Oleum Clear Coat sealer, and it's just like a spray paint. I use it honestly on almost everything, but this TV stand, I want to say it is a TV stand. It was a little bit heavier than I thought it would be, so bringing it inside and bring it back outside, bring it back inside, it was just not worth it. So I did this inside. I did not get any overspray. I did not like kind of moving all of the cardboard around so I would not get this on the floor. And believe it or not, you guys, when I moved this, nothing was on the floor. No wax, no spray, absolutely nothing. So now, since the glass was gone, we cut through the centers of the doors. Well, you know, I didn't cut it. I wanted to add burlap to the backs of these, and I'm just using my Surebonder staple gun, and that is always linked in the description box below as well. These burlap sheets I actually picked up at a garage sale last year as well for 50 cents. So like in total, I want to say this entire project cost a little over $20 just because the paint I think was $18. So just over 20 bucks. But I think that this turned out so good once we put it together. Bri did help me pound the staples in more just because I don't think I'm strong enough to work a staple gun at times. And then now we're just putting everything together, figuring out what screws go to what. We did have to go back through the video because some of this hardware was just not, we were kind of like mind blown of how, I don't know, how this was put together. But you guys, overall, this was a fun project. We did do it in a couple days, and you think that like, oh, you just painted a TV stand, like that's no big deal. This was a ton of work. And until you actually try to do this by yourself, like, I thought I could do this by myself. And then when I started, I'm like, nope, I can't. So this is the before. This is what it looked like, $5. And this is what it looks like when it is finished. I cannot wait until this goes in our bedroom. Right now it is in our dining room until we do a little bit more fix-ups on the hardware just because the doors do not open very nicely just because there was paint on them. But you guys, that is it for the video. Like I said, if you enjoy this video and you want Bri to be in more videos, let me know in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider sticking around and subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Maybe,
Yeah!